You are a terrible mage, yet through pure, dumb luck you managed to defeat an archmage in a duel, thus taking their place according to ancient tradition. Many mages protest against giving such a prestigious position to a clearly unqualified candidate, including yourself. They might as well have been lawyers for all the technicalities and laws of magic and men they so casually threw around. It made sense. To master the rules of magic, one needed to understand its true limits and apply their ancient words in ways that had never been done before. It wasn't enough to simply throw a fireball, you needed to redefine what fire or a ball even was. I sat defeated on the steps outside the archmage's, my, tower. The door opened behind me and I twisted to see a short man who looked almost glad to see me. Archmage Althea, the man clasped his hands together. Come, we have much work to begin. His accent was proper, he seemed almost regal compared to my country appearance. I stepped inside the tower. At any other moment of my life, I'd have been simply enchanted by the tower's interior, but I knew my time as the tower's master was limited. You're the first person I've met who hasn't practically spat on me, I said. Sir? Albrecht, but you may call me Al. This is a day of celebration, my dear lady. The archmage is finally dead and I know you will fare far better. Al didn't look to me as he walked ahead, and for good measure as my eyes darted to the floor. He was my servant now, and there he was celebrating his former master's death. Let me have a guess, I'm some chosen prodigy that is yet to see my full potential and will one day save the world? I said. Al laughed. If only it were true. No, you have little potential by yourself. He wasn't wrong, nor did he have to say it like that, but I appreciated the honesty. Then what? I asked. You will see, he said. Al showed me to a platform and pressed his foot on a stone slab, whispering a spell foreign to me, and in a moment we were in what looked to be a bedroom. Al didn't spare a moment and sprung toward a large chest, opened it, and reached inside. He pulled out a shard of, what seemed like, metal and glass. What is it? I asked. The previous archmage's source of power, he said, irritated. I inspected the shard. I failed artifacts and relics in the academy, this thing was as foreign to me as any other enchanted heirloom. It didn't feel powerful, however. It felt dead. There were protrusions, likely buttons on the sides. I stared at what I assumed was the front of the artifact, only to see my reflection in the glass. The back was smooth metal, however, and showed no reflection, only a symbol of a fruit with a bite missing. Al tapped the front and the artifact glowed, revealing strange symbols and a skull surrounded in blackness. Suddenly the symbols changed. I don't understand, I finally admitted. This is called a smartphone, he said, which meant nothing to me. It, he continued, contains a magical encyclopedia called Wikipedia with information far beyond our understanding, in a language no one knows. I'd heard the archmage wielded powerful knowledge. Did he write this? I asked. Al laughed with his belly and slapped his side, he even took a moment to compose himself. He would have had you believe. The rumors of the archmage arriving from a distant land are true, but his mind was feeble, as much so as any common folk, perhaps more, said Al. This made sense, a name like Eric MacDonald sounded entirely made up, there wasn't a single land in the world with names like that. Then, when I defeated him. It was no accident or dumb luck, my lady. He was simply an idiot. A sodded fool. And even you could have defeated him. His reputation had preceded him so far that no one even dared challenge him. I wasn't sure what was harder to believe, that I'd beaten a legendary wizard, or that he was a fraud. That would certainly explain how my elementary magic killed him. I'd initially figured he'd had a stroke or miscasted a powerful spell, but it seemed in all likelihood that when I threw my single ball of fire, he simply didn't know how to react, stood in place, and burned to death. That would mean, however, if I could harness his knowledge. Then you may become very powerful indeed, yes, he said. Can you teach me how to use this device? Alas, it only opens itself to the archmage's face. No illusions or tricks seem to work. I've tried myself to unlock its secrets, but to no avail. And we'll need to decipher the language as well, I stated. I've made some progress, but we may need help. And the archmage's body has already been preserved in the Acropolis. It has, said Al, eyebrow slowly raising. The confidence in Al's eyes felt foreign. I still wasn't sure what he saw in me, perhaps he loathed Archmage Eric so much that any old sod like me would do better, or perhaps he believed in me because others' expectations of me would blind them. Either way, I welcomed his help. I looked around the room, surrounded by countless magical items, clothing, and potions. No doubt we were the most well-stocked people to commit to any action. You'll do as I command? I asked. I must. Then help me get into the Acropolis. A wry smile crossed Al's lips. He wanted nothing more.